Hey everyone, my name is Roxy and this is my story. So I grew up in a little town in Kingston, Jamaica called Franklin Town. It was actually the ghetto. I lived there with my grandma, which is my mom's mom, my mom, and my cousin. And in the ghetto, like, you experience a lot of things. I experienced a lot of things. I experienced people dying at the front of my house. I experienced tons of gunshots. I had to even separate physical fights between my grandma and my cousin numerous times. It was just not really the best environment for me to grow up in, but I learned a lot. My dad actually migrated to the States when I was 3 months old, so I didn't have my father around. And I remember living in this place, and my grandma, she's a Christian, my mom's a Christian, and it was a Christian household. But I remember my grandma always reminding me and enforcing me and telling me, read your word and pray every day and go to church. And, I was also a part of the dance scene, the choir, the sign language team, the group, all these different things. And all I knew was go to church every Sunday, go to Missionettes, which is like a young girls group, go to the youth group, like read your word, blah, blah, blah. And I just remember is this all to Christianity? Is this all to Jesus? Like what is this, right? And I gave my life to Jesus at 10 years old because I was told you need to, give your life to Jesus. You need to read the word. You need to do all this. You need to do all that. And it was just more of religion and not relationship with Jesus. So when I gave my life to Jesus at 10 years old, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to expect. I just didn't know. All I knew was this is what I should do, and I guess I need to do it. So I did it. So I gave my life to Jesus at 10 years old. I started high school a few months after, because in Jamaica, we don't really have middle school. We have like elementary school or primary school, and then you move on to high school. So I started high school at 10 years old, and I went to an all-girls high school in Jamaica, the best high school ever. And I learned a lot of things. I went there and I was introduced to the whole party world, entertainment world. I was not introduced, but people there were either lesbians or just all the different things that just was there. And I remember when I was introduced to just the whole party world, I was like, I kind of like this. I kind of really, really like this. So I started to go to parties and stuff with my friends, and I started to connect with promoters and DJs and photographers, and I was like, I want to do this. So at 10 years old, 11 years old, I became a party promoter, and every weekend I was at parties. I was promoting parties, I was planning events, I got connected to DJs and photographers and so many people in the entertainment industry. And I just remember really enjoying that life. I remember enjoying being in relationships with people, and I remember going to this party and that party. And during this time, I forgot about Jesus because I got to a place where I enjoyed the party life. I enjoyed the world, that reading the word and praying every day and going to church, all these different things wasn't it. Although I will go to church here and there, and I lived a double life. I was that lukewarm Christian. I would go to church, pretend like I'm all holy and saved, but the day before I was getting lit, I was drinking, I was smoking, I was just having a blast. So people didn't really know what I was doing. I had 2 different Facebook accounts. Crazy. I had 2 different Facebook accounts. One Facebook account was for my entertainment party world, and the other Facebook account was for my family and the church folks who, I didn't want them to see what I was doing. Ridiculous. So at 11 years old, 12 years old, still in high school, still going to parties, promoting parties, I became well known, and I became angry. I remember just becoming very angry because I remember not having my father around, and I had questions. I always asked my mom, for a sibling, and she'd always tell me, next year or whatever. And I don't hold this against her, but I just became very angry and in this place of, okay, like why is it that my dad isn't around? Why is it that I just all these different things I'm experiencing? I'm just like, what is this? God, you failed me. You just here, I guess. Like, you want me to be a Christian, you want me to follow you, but like I don't see you around, and my dad isn't in my life. My mom is struggling. I'm just experiencing all these different things. So eventually, I think around 13 or 14 years old, I found out that my mom and dad were actually divorced, and that I had a little brother who was like 3 years old at the time or something, and that crushed me, crushed me. This is when I really became angry. I was always in fights. I was always cussing people out. I remember this one time, I actually had friends who would like give me weed and stuff. I remember this one time when I was just like in this very dark place, and I was like, this is not it. Like, this is not it. And I was in the back of the house smoking weed, like getting lit, because I was just like, I was very depressed. I was very lonely. My mom was just, my mom experienced so many things. I remember even there was times she wasn't working for a whole year, and all she had was coins to give me to go to school. Because like in Jamaica, you know, you take public transportation. We don't have school buses or whatever. And she would just give me coins. I remember I had to put it in my pocket, and every time I walked, like you could hear the sounds, and it was so embarrassing to me. Like, I was like, dang, like, you know, people can hear that I only have coins in my pockets. But I understood, like my mom, she tried everything. She ensured that I had food to eat. And even if I needed something, she tried her best to get it for me. And my mom ensured that I had everything that I needed. Not necessarily what I wanted, but what I needed. And because of that, I've seen her go through things. And I was like, wow, I can't be upset with her. I can't be angry at her because I see her trying. And because of that, I was like, I need to get my education. I need to do all these different things. Also, I remember, you know, growing up when I was like 9, 10, the church that I grew up in, I had some friends who I grew up with, and I just remembered their parents comparing me to them. And I wasn't really the smartest per se. I'm one, even now, if I don't really take the time out to study and really focus, I probably won't do well at all in school. So it's always been that thing where if I don't focus, if I don't study hard, you know, like some people like, oh, like it's easy for them to study, it's easy for them to retain information. For me, that's not the case, but God has been so good. But I remember them, you know, their parents comparing me to them and how I wasn't doing well in school and their kids are doing well in school, all those different things. And comparison was a thing for me. After experiencing that, I would compare myself to other people. So fast forward back to when I found out about my parents' divorce and just my mom struggling, all these different things, I was just like, there's no way I can go back to church. There's no way I can go back to that church. There's no way I could really live my life for Jesus because, you know, we don't have things, you know, like my mom, you know, didn't have a job. We were struggling. I wasn't doing the best in school. I was failing school. It was just a very hard time for my mom and I was just like, you know, the church people, they're talking about the situation with my mom and dad and all different things. I was like, there's no way I could go back to church. There's no way I could be a Christian because, like, Christians, what? Why are they like that, you know? So I was continuing to party. I was, you know, living that life, having a blast, all that jazz. Went from one relationship to another, cussing people out. I was a mess, hot mess. So I remember at around 15 years old, 16 years old, actually I was 16 years old, it was time for me to graduate, and because I wasn't doing so well in school, I wasn't able to walk across the stage per se. So it made me very sad. No one really knew until recently actually that I didn't get to walk across the stage. And I was very angry. I didn't go to church all these different things. And I remember one day I had moved on from high school and I went to another school. And I remember I was walking home, and this car, this time we had moved from Franklintown. My mom and I had moved from Franklintown because my grandma and my cousin had moved to Canada. So my mom and I moved to Red Hills Road in that area, and in St. Andrew. And I was walking home, just got off of the bus or the taxi, was walking home, and this car pulled up, and the person said, "Watch out, they're after you." He's like, "Watch your back," or whatever. And I was like, and the car drove away super fast. I was like, wow, okay, cool. It was like, I'm not, okay, whatever. And got home. And I remember another time I was walking to the bus stop to go to school, and this car pulled up to me. "Get in the car." I was like, "I ain't getting no car." He's like, I said, "Get in the, whatever car." And I was like, I ran so fast. I saw some Jehovah's Witness like across the street. And if you're Jamaican, Jehovah's Witness, like you turn your lights off, you pull your curtains, you lock the door. They're like knocking on your gate, whatever, you like, and not answering because you weren't trying to talk to no Jehovah's Witness. And in that moment, I was running towards the Jehovah's Witnesses. Like I was like running so fast, and the car drove away. And I remember having to call my mom because, I was trying to tell her like help, whatever. And my mom I guess she wasn't near her phone, so she didn't get my phone call. So I ran to the Jehovah's Witness. I was standing there like, "Hi." And they're like, "God bless, whatever." I was like, okay. So when that was over, I went home and I was like, "Mom, blah, 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 this happened." She's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." All these different things. And in that moment, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, first I got a threat. The next time they actually try to come for me, and I had to run to Jehovah's Witnesses. Like, what in the world? That was crazy. I was like, this is not it. Like, this is not it. I need to figure something out. So at 16, almost 17, I left that school, and I remember I was in this very dark place. My mom and I were getting arguments here and there. I remember this one day I got into it with her, and I was like, I'm over this. Over it. Totally over it. I remember I went in the kitchen, got a knife. Y'all know Jamaicans, we have those big, that sharp knife that you use to cut things, whatever. I went for that. I was like, "Lord, either I'm going to take my life or I'm going to run away, but I want you to show me that you're real." I was around 17 at this point. Went outside with it, and something inside of me was like, "Go back inside." And I was like, mad. I was mad. I was like, "Go back inside." I got up, went back inside, and I felt like I needed to open my Bible. It's been years, months, whatever, since I've actually read my Bible. And y'all know Jamaicans be using King James Version, and that joint be hard to read, okay? And I remember opening the Bible, and it led me to Deuteronomy. I forgot where in Deuteronomy, but it says, "For I will never leave you nor forsake you." And I was like, huh? Like, oh, okay. So I opened it, and I was reading the word, just reading the word that night until I fell asleep. And I remember I had a dream where I was at the church that I grew up in, and Jesus came and he said, "I want to show you something." And he grabbed my hand and he said, "If you don't choose me, you'll go here." And I remember he took me to hell. And in hell, I saw people like jumping off of cliffs, like in the fire, like constantly. I saw people eating people, vomiting people out. Like, it was just like eating stuff. And people were just like, it was horrible. And then he said, "But if you choose me," he grabbed my hand, "but if you choose me, we'll go here." And I remember he took me to heaven, and the peace that I felt, it was like, wow, okay, I actually like it here. It was like, I can't even explain. It was just a different feeling. And I was like, wow, okay, Lord. And he brought me back to the church, and I woke up. And I was like, oh no, I'm not going to hell. There's no way I'll go to hell. I remember in that moment, I was like, Lord, I choose you. I repented. I gave my life back to Jesus. And within a few months, literally, I had no time to tell people that I was migrating to the States. I had no time to tell people that I was leaving. Within a few months, I was packing up to leave to move to the States. And it's funny how God is, because I moved to the States. I didn't tell all my party people that I was moving. I didn't tell all my friends that I was moving. Like, it was just so quick that I had no time. Like, God literally snatched me out of Jamaica because he knew, like, that, no, like, I needed to leave, right? So he snatched me out of Jamaica, and I moved to the States in August of 2014, actually, August 2014. And I, went to the church that I always, went to when I, came here to the States for vacation and stuff. And I met the youth pastors who are my spiritual parents and my leaders, my pastors right now, my apostles and prophets, my apostle and my prophet, and Apostle Malik and Prophetess Ashley. I met them at the church, and they literally welcomed me with open arms, and they're like, "You mine, you're with me." And ever since, they have really helped me with my journey. They have inspired me to really go after the heart of the Father. They have pulled me out of some things. They have prayed for me. They've been there for me. And when I connected with them, actually started to get to this place where I'm kind of knowing who I am now. I'm a Christian. Okay, I'm a daughter of the Most High King. All right, I have authority to do what? Oh, okay. So it was just been a journey of getting to know Jesus all over again, because all I knew was that read your word, pray, go to church, go to dance practice, go to choir practice, go to this, go to that, don't have sex. Okay, all these different things. And I didn't know relationship. I didn't know Christianity is not religion. It's not like do's and don'ts. It's not like, it's so much more to it. It's relationship. And when I started to understand that, I was like, wow, okay, Jesus, like, you're actually cool. And the Lord began to take me on this journey with him that honestly, it's the best decision I have made. It is the best decision I have made. Yes, I've been through a lot of things. I made bad decisions. I experienced a lot of things, a lot of trauma. I was abused, verbally and physically abused. And when I was introduced to deliverance, I was like, oh, wow. Okay, I don't like this, because what I know about deliverance is that if you are getting deliverance, you're possessed by a demon. Like, there's something wrong with you. Okay, there's something wrong with you. And when I met Prophetess Ashley and I saw her start to operate in this place of in a healing and deliverance, I was like, and I even had a session with her, and I told her a few months after the session, I was like, I don't like this. I don't know how I feel about this. And honestly, like, now that I've been through deliverance, part of the deliverance team, even learn about the prophetic and what that means and what that looks like and how to flow in it, all these different things, even about the fivefold. Like, I didn't know a lot of things, but when I got connected with Apostle Malik and Prophetess Ashley, they have just their life alone has been very inspiring, and it has helped me to really go after the heart of the Father, as I said. So I have been on this journey with the Lord ever since I moved to the States at 17 years old. God like literally snatched me out of Jamaica. It's so funny. The Lord promised that he will provide for me to go back to school, and it would be simple. He provided. I didn't have to pay for college. I know who I am in Christ. Now I've learned a lot about the prophetic and just like all these different things. And now I'm just like, Lord, like, I'm here, use me. The Lord has been doing great and mighty things in my life. I've been inspiring people sharing my testimonies and my encounters with Jesus on my platforms. And that's what I want to do. I want to simply inspire and encourage people to go after the heart of the Father, to encounter God in a new way, to not be afraid of sharing the word, sharing the gospel, not being afraid of being his daughter or his son, and not allowing the enemy to rule over their lives. Like, what I know about deliverance now is just like, listen, we got no time to play with the devil, okay? No time to play with the devil. And thank you guys for joining and following this page and just like following my journey. I really just want to inspire and encourage everyone. Literally, I just want to do that. And if me sharing my testimony and my encounters with Jesus inspired you to even ask question about him, or even like, hey, let me Google like or read the word or whatever the case may be to find out who this Jesus Christ is, that's very amazing. And yeah, I think that's it. I love you guys so much, and thank you guys for listening. Bye.